Manchester United are reportedly considering a move for Brentford forward Ivan Toney if his price tag decreases. The striker has been heavily linked with a move away from the Bees this summer, fueling speculation himself by openly discussing how he would be keen to kickstart a new project elsewhere with a top club. Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham have been linked with the England international previously, though Toney remains on the books of Brentford, which has left the door open for United to consider a move. According to Give Me Sport, the Red Devils are considering opening talks with Thomas Frank's side to discuss a move for the 28-year-old. However, they will only look to strike a deal if Toney's price tag is reduced to £40 million or below. United are aware that the striker won't put pen to paper on a new contract with Brentford and, with his deal expiring with the club next summer, they believe that the Bees could reluctantly accept a lesser offer for the forward. Toney is not ruling out staying at Brentford and running down his contract at the club though, knowing that he could attract further suitors in 2025 when he is available as a free agent. Toney currently earns £20,000 per week at the Gatek Community Stadium but is reportedly looking to sign a £250,000 per week contract at any new club. If United were to match his financial demands, he would become one of their highest-paid players. According to Spotrac, only Casemiro and Marcus Rashford earn a weekly salary of more than £250,000 with Jadon Sancho and Mason Mount both on the same pay that Toney is demanding at his next side. The England number 9 would be earning more than skipper Bruno Fernandes £240,000 per week if United gave in to his salary demands to sign him. United have already bolstered their forward ranks this summer with the signing of Joshua Zirkzee from Bologna, but Ineos are said to be refusing to rule out the possibility of acquiring the services of another number 9 to provide an alternative option in the final third. Despite interest from elsewhere in the Premier League, United's biggest threat in the race to sign Toney could be Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly. The Middle Eastern outfit have shortlisted the 28-year-old as a potential target and would not struggle to meet his financial demands, though Brentford are yet to receive an approach from the club at this stage. Mason Greenwood made his Marseille debut after leaving Manchester United last week. Here's how French media reacted. The biggest sale of the summer to date for Manchester United has been Mason Greenwood and his £27 million move to France. Marseille won the race ahead of Lazio, Napoli, Juventus, Atletico Madrid and Getafe, who were all keen at one stage or another in signing the 22-year-old. Selling Greenwood was always on the cards for Ineos this summer, and his 14-goal contribution La Liga campaign for Getafe last season made it an easy sell. Now, he's made his debut for the Ligue 1 side, and here's how the media in France have been reacting to his inaugural outing. What French media have said after Greenwood's debut. Greenwood donned the white of Marseille for the first time on Wednesday afternoon as his new club took on Toulon. After the game, the media in France have been reacting. French outlet Orange Actualites reviewed the outing of Greenwood for Marseille. The Englishman distinguished himself with a few attempts without being able to score. L'Équipe also commented on his debut against Toulon. Starting on the right side of the attack, he made his team benefit from his left leg. The 22-year-old Englishman did not try to force on sprints and dribbles, often sought the in-depth call of Amin Harit, who plunged from the axis to the right flank, and distinguished himself by a framed shot. With the previous two outlets slightly optimistic, Football 365 was less impressed, writing, "Only a few days after signing with the club, Mason Greenwood was able to participate in his first game with Marseille. The English winger played only one half, like most players. A half-time during which he only distinguished himself by a fruitless strike." Marseille spent around £27 million on Greenwood last week, and they'll be very excited to see him get up to speed and perform as he did last season for Getafe in League One. United's buyback remains an interesting inclusion for this reason, but yet a bizarre thing to have in the deal. Greenwood will be playing Champions League football this season. This coming season sees Erik ten Hag and United in the Europa League, which means United won't be facing off against Greenwood, with Marseille in the Champions League. The chance to shine on Europe's brightest stage could be the defining factor in why he chose to join Marseille ahead of the likes of Lazio. Playing in the Champions League could also see Greenwood have to return to England with Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Aston Villa all potential opponents for Marseille in the tournament, which is newly structured. Greenwood will face English opposition in his next preseason outing, with a game against Sunderland planned for Marseille on August 3. Graham Souness believes that Bruno Fernandes threw in the towel in one appearance against Liverpool. The Manchester United attacking midfielder is captain at Old Trafford, replacing Harry Maguire last season. While he continued to impress on the pitch, the Portuguese international has attracted attention for his on-pitch demeanour. One example of that was in the 7-0 defeat to Liverpool last year, in March 2023. Speaking to William Hill, Souness thought Fernandes was an example of the poor quality of leadership in modern football. When you look at leaders in the modern game, one example is at Manchester United, which is one of the biggest institutions in world football, Souness said. The club captain is Bruno Fernandes. When they were 3-0 down against Liverpool a couple of seasons ago, he just threw the towel in. He's the captain. If anything, he should still be contributing, running around with enthusiasm and helping his teammates. I don't think Fernandes can change that aspect of himself, it's part of him. When he's shrugging his shoulders and throwing his arms around, that's just him. Michael Owen believes Manchester United winger Jadon Sancho would have preferred Erik ten Hag to lose his job at Old Trafford. United gave serious thought to replacing Ten Hag towards the end of the 2023-24 campaign as the Red Devils slumped to 8th in the Premier League, their lowest ever finish. But after speaking to potential targets including Thomas Tuchel and watching Manchester United beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final, it was decided that Ten Hag would stay. Ex-England striker Owen believes Sancho, probably, wishes Ten Hag had left after falling out with the United boss at the start of last season. Sancho was sent back to his former club Borussia Dortmund on loan after falling out of favor with Ten Hag, who criticized his effort in training and axed him from a matchday squad. Given the fallout and his improved form in Germany, Sancho was expected to complete a permanent return to the Bundesliga club. But Sancho held clear the air talks with Ten Hag last week before being pictured in Manchester United training and then starting the club's preseason friendly against Rangers. Ten Hag has said he has drawn a line under his spat with Sancho, but Owen still believes the England international would have preferred a change in manager ahead of the new season. Jadon Sancho took a really risky move in many ways, but almost an unavoidable one in going back to where he was to try to reignite that spark. And he's done particularly well, Owen told Prime Casino. I'm sure he probably would have preferred there to have been a change of manager at Old Trafford so it was a clean slate and he could come back and hopefully start again. I don't know what his future holds, but he's certainly gone away and proven that he can still cut it at the top level. What has Erik ten Hag said about Jadon Sancho? Ten Hag described Sancho as a terrible good player after reintroducing him to the Manchester United squad. The Old Trafford boss said, "We spoke well. Anyone can make a mistake. If the player reflects well on that, then you draw a line and move on again. This club needs good players, and one thing is for sure, Jadon is a terribly good player. I hope that the click still comes and that he will contribute to our success." Despite his talent, Sancho has only scored 9 goals in 58 Premier League games for Manchester United since completing a £73 million move from Borussia Dortmund in 2021.